Remember how the toys in the 90s could actually kill you? Or at least burn your house down? Today, on This Mini Sucks, we're going to check out this lost technology and use it to take on the 3D printing industry. Or die trying. Let's roll past that McDonald's, kids, because we got Games Workshop at home.
Now you can have the power to mold real metal.
Metal molder!
Only Metal Molder lets you make it metal. Pour it in, heat it up, melt it down, fill the mold, and pop it out. Create dozens of amazingly detailed pieces out of real metal. Forge skulls, horses, wizards, beasts, and dragons.
Metal molder!
Metal Molder comes with everything you see here.
The 90s was a magical time to be alive. Often referred to as the last great decade, it's kind of hard to argue why. Sandwiched between the old and new world, before late-stage capitalism and social media brought us to whatever this current hellscape is. We had warheads, man. Let me know in the comments below, what's your favorite warhead flavor? I think mine's black cherry. But, what if we mix them all together? I think my head will explode if I eat this. Okay, I'm gonna do all of them at once and see if I look like this guy. Oh god. Do I look like him? Anyway, life was simpler back then, and I don't think that's just the nostalgia talking. For one thing, I know people were definitely a lot less afraid of being sued. Toymax, the company responsible for reintroducing us to creepy crawlers, which has made multiple most dangerous toys of all time lists. Laser Challenge, which brought laser tag into our living rooms, also graced us with the ability to cast our own metal miniatures with the release of the Metal Molder Die-Cast Factory. I saw that wizard and immediately knew that was the one. So let's see if I can open this thing up and cast a metal wizard. Oh man. Oh. The eBay seller packed this nicely. Okay, so we've got metal falling everywhere, that's great. Alright. Okay, what is this? Dude! Oh yeah. Sweet. Alright. The Crucible. Sweet. It's called the Crucible. Okay. Place your Metal Molder Die-Cast Factory on a safe, dry, flat working surface and have an adult plug it in. I'm one step ahead of you, Toymax. I have an adult. Kind of. No way. Well, that was anticlimactic. It's broken, but that's okay. I should still have everything I need to forge this wizard in molten metal. I just need to heat up the crucible, potentially with an open flame, and still use the included silicone molds to cast the mini. So I decided to take the manic mad scientist route and got my cast iron skillet and a candle and thought that was the best way to go about it. This is pretty irresponsible. That's all. Warning! Do not attempt this at home. Always wear proper safety equipment if you are working with melted plastic or metals. Safety first. Unfortunately, the metal molder melted and the crucible wasn't getting hot enough. So I removed the mold holder and held it over the flame with the plastic removed. The metal slowly began to shift and stir and finally melt into a silvery soup. I tried all the molds at least once. Some were better than others. The motorcycle came out perfect for some reason, but the wizard, I just couldn't get him to cast. He was the worst one out of all of them. I was down to my literal last 2 refills of pellets, And finally, on the very last cast, he came out.
Oh! All right, I'm gonna count that as a win.
Without a hand. But he's still awesome. Yeah, he doesn't have a hand, whatever. But he survived the casting process. He exists now. And I forged him from metal, liquid metal, and here he is. So you know what? My wizard's got an arm off. That's fine. These minis are tiny. I compared them to a metal Warhammer miniature from around the same time, and the wizard is standing at about half of his height. It's around the size of a quarter. So this is definitely gonna be one of the smallest things I've ever painted. But first, I was gonna need to figure out what kind of base would frame these in the best way. While I figure that out, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
How do I look? Do I look cool?
Well, okay, I'm gonna flip it. I have other things to do.
Hey there! Do you like retro miniatures and weird hobby projects? Are you a fan of tabletop wargaming and RPGs? Well then you should subscribe to this channel. And my free Discord, which is linked below. There you can join a growing group of like-minded individuals just like yourself and share your hobby projects. You can even see work in progress and behind the scenes photos that I share of my upcoming videos. And you can even challenge me to a game of your choice in my monthly battle reports that come out monthly. I hope to see you there.
This mini sucks.
I settled on the bases for the minis, a cavalry base for the motorcycle, and an old broken Tau drone flight stand that even already has some texture on it for the wizard. I'll start with the bike. I made a little mini desert scene base for the motorcycle, and I tried to spray some yellow lines on it for the road. It looked okay. I started painting it, but honestly, it was kind of whack. Like, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to do it. So I cooked that John up real nice instead. Cooked it up real good. Fried it up. I just fried that John up. Now on to the one-armed wizard. I could have tried to sculpt something out of green stuff or kit bash a hand from another mini, but that would have been a lot more work, so I decided not to do that. Instead, I just decided to say it was part of his story. He's got one arm, and a hole in his chest, and a hole in his back. He's got, oh, that dude's messed up. I wanted to keep this paint job very simple. It's just 4 colors: the purple robe, the fair skin, the gray beard, and the brown staff. I knew since the details were pretty soft that I wanted to avoid using a wash and potentially flooding the model. I very carefully just layered up my colors, starting with a base coat of my darkest shadow, and then working my way up through the midtone and highlights. The eyes were challenging. This model feels like it's about half the size of a 32mm scale figure, so that means the eyes were half the size too. But honestly, they came out looking pretty dope. I kind of like the expression I ended up getting out of him. I added some recessed shading and spent some time adding texture to the beard, and had him wrapped up in about an hour. I had no idea how this was going to turn out when this all started. So to hold the final wizard that I cast myself, it's pretty awesome. So I'm not sure if the metal molder is going to be putting a dent in the 3D printing industry, but I sure had fun. If you had a good time hanging out today, please consider subscribing to the channel or liking this video. All those things help a small channel like me grow, and I would love to keep making content like this for you guys. Also, let me know in a comment below if you'd like to see me explore this process further. Getting a hold of like a real metal crucible and melting some metal, pouring it into a custom mold could be really cool. Metal minis are my favorite, and getting a taste for the process, even though this was just a toy, gave me a better understanding of how doing it for real would work, and I think that could be a really good time. Either way, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video.